Alright, so today we'll be talking about this chin mount setup that I just rigged up on my helmet here. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Just a little walkthrough if anybody wants to figure out how I did it or if it's something they want to try. I like to record a lot of stuff. A lot of people record their bike rides, so I figured I'd start doing the same thing as well. I had these on here already, so I can have one pointing to the front and one to the back, but I didn't like the view that it had up here at the top, and it also produced a lot of drag. It pulled my head back a little bit and made me feel like the camera was going to fly off while I was riding. So I did some research and tried to find a better spot to put it, and I saw some people put it here, but it was also sticking out on the side. So I thought it'd probably give the same problems. So I saw this one, somebody had mounted it on the front, and thought it would be a better idea to put it up here. I took a test ride with it the other day, and it felt pretty good. So I guess I'll start off by saying just a regular sticky mount, nothing special to it. And before I get into the video, I'm going to just talk about this little piece here. It goes right in here. It reduces the vibration, because when you don't have it in, it kind of shakes a little bit. You can't tell, but in your footage you can tell that it shakes a little bit, so it dampens the vibrations on it and keeps it a little bit tighter in there so it doesn't move around as much. Just shock absorber, I guess you could say. So back to what I was saying, I basically just took a regular sticky mount. I gauged, I actually piece this together. It's 1, 2, 3 extenders and one to stick it upright. So 3 or 4 extenders to curve it around since you stick it on the side, and to end up with the camera in the front of the helmet, because it's more of a POV style view if you ask me. Once you get this on, you basically just kind of put your mount on, and we'll go back to the mount. I'm sorry I'm skipping around a little bit. I'm not good at making these videos, but there was a little space in between, you might can see it, in between the mount and the sticky. So I took a hot glue gun to fill the void in between there, because it wasn't wanting to stick as well. So it's pretty firmly mounted on there, not wanting to come off at all, actually, in my honest opinion. And that's the wiggle I was talking about. You can see it wiggling a little bit, so that's what that little gel piece does, is stop it from wiggling, just keeps it a little tighter in there. So once I got this mounted on there, and I gauged that out, I went ahead and put these on. And this also came in handy. I keep one on my key ring, but it's a GoPro spanner wrench. It basically goes on here and just tightens it down like a screwdriver pretty much, so you can firmly make sure these are tight and not coming off. And that's how I make sure these aren't wiggling, because this stays connected. I don't disconnect these for anything, so whenever I want to take the camera off, I just take the mount off and take the camera off, and I just throw it to the side, and whenever I want to put it back on, all I have to do is mount the camera on there and put this back in the shoe. Secondly, I got this skeleton housing. It's an aluminum case, I guess by Polos. It's for the Hero 4. It comes with the bottom mount for it. It comes with a top mount for lights and such, or if you want to put another camera on there. I don't know why you need 2 cameras. A string to hold it. It comes with a lens protector. You can have that on or off. It just screws on. And it comes with a lens cover protector, which is on there now. I guess I could show it to you. So that goes on like that. And this little piece here will screw out. And if you don't want that there, I think it's just glass. I don't think it's polarized. And it'll expose the lens. So obviously when you're riding or doing activities where your lens can get damaged, you just put that on and it'll protect your lens. And when you're not using it, just throw this back on there. Keep everything clean and whatnot. And lastly, I've had the mic. I just never hooked it up while I was riding, because the microphone is over here. So whether you have it in a casing or not, it's still going to pick up a lot of wind noise. So I researched on how people hook their mic up. Luckily I have a chin guard, or I don't know what you would call it, and my mic came with a clip, so I just bundled up the excess, taped it to the side over here, so whenever I want to disconnect my camera, all I have to do is unplug the plug from out of the camera, and if I want to take the mic off, this is just tape so I can put it back on, but I usually leave it on there, and it disconnects from here as well, but I put some tape on there so it wouldn't come off while I'm riding, and it seems to be pretty sturdy, and that way, I don't know if you can see the mic, but the mic's on the underside of here, so I can talk while I'm riding or doing whatever I'm doing with this helmet on, and it'll cut down on the wind noise a little bit, so the sound will be coming from straight from in the helmet. So with all of these combined, I think it ought to prove to have a lot better quality footage, audio wise and visual wise, because this seems like a good spot to put your camera in. I've seen a lot of people put their cameras there, and it seems like the footage comes out pretty well. One problem I did run into is that I didn't put it down low enough. I could probably move it, but I like the position that it's in now because I can't let my visor down. So if I want to let my visor down, I have to roll the camera up, let it down, and then put it back, because when you're riding, your helmet's actually kind of slanted forward a little bit, so your camera actually ends up being about level when it's pointed all the way back, especially when you're in an aggressive riding stance. So that's the only mistake I made, was not putting it down low enough, but it's not that big a deal. It still works out just fine. So we're going to test it out later on today and see how everything turns out. If you got any questions, just hit me up, leave a comment, whatever the case may be, and videos will be soon to follow. And if you're curious about what kind of mic I had, I forgot I had this out here. It's a Movo GM100. It's, I think, specifically made for the GoPros. This is the box it came in. I think got it for about maybe 15-20 bucks off of Amazon. I've used it for some other stuff. It has some pretty good qualities, and it picks up sound really well. So if you don't like the GoPro mic or you want better sound, I would highly recommend getting the mic, whether you use it for helmet activities or not. It's just a good asset to have in your arsenal. It says it's compatible for the 3, the 2, and the 4. So it comes with a foam tip for the mic, a clip-on, and a breakaway attachment right here. And it's probably about a 3-foot cord, maybe, if I had to guess. So spanner wrench to tighten these down to keep these on here. Extension pieces. Make sure you have some kind of skeleton housing so you can plug your mic in. If you want to do that, I would highly recommend it. And this little guard at the bottom so you can clip it onto it. And that ought to be a pretty decent setup if you want to mount your camera, I guess you could call it chin mount, in the front of your helmet at the bottom, and have a mic with it as well without having a lot of sloppiness. So yeah, questions, comments, whatever the case may be, just hit me up and I'll answer what I can for you.